everybody. It's me, Mark W. Gray, sometimes known as Cool Dad on Sourcefed Movie Club. Sourcefed Movie Club asked us to review Big Fish by Tim Burton. I caught a fish, it was this big. Oh, sorry. We have a special guest here. This is Emily, a friend of these guys from school. And
I'm a homie.
And she's spending the weekend. We have a weekending guest here. So we have a fourth opinion on this film here. Anyway, Big Fish, what did you guys think?
I thought it was really cool. It was really interesting and stuff.
Okay, that was good.
But
all right,
very descriptive.
I thought it was a very... I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's one of the best movies, but I really like this movie just kind of for the, story of it.
The story, like the story.
I like the story.
Okay. First impressions?
I think, as a movie, it's a pretty good movie. It's not, an amazing movie. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not remembered as one of Tim Burton's most profound films or most popular films of all time. It's sort of he's done all these sort of fantasy epics, basically, full of crazy characters and wild stuff. And this is a lot more personal. It's about a father and son and their relationship, right?
Yeah.
Well,
and the father's Albert Finney, who is kind of dying, and he spent his whole life telling these crazy tales about his life. And the key one from when his son was born was about this giant catfish that he supposedly caught on the day his son was born, which is why he missed his birth. Okay, the son is Billy Crudup, who you might remember was Dr. Manhattan in The Watchmen, though he was mostly plumped up and digital. Yeah, and he's good. Now, I saw this years ago, and I didn't really like it because I thought he was a big puss.
Yeah,
the son is he's whining the whole movie about how his dad never tells him the truth, never tells him anything.
Yeah.
But he's really just jealous, I think, because his dad is always the center of attention.
I would completely agree with that. My dad's a lot like that. My dad...
So don't you hate it when a dad tries to be the center of attention
You're
all
not
the
even
time?
my dad!
Steals the thing. It steals your thunder. When a dad kind of overshadows you, it can be kind of annoying, don't you think? When the dad is, because you probably have something you want to say, but then the dad's always got his story, and he's always sort of stealing the spotlight, but then blah, 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 blah. Well, if you guys don't have anything else to add, anyway, sorry, go on.
I really like the whole idea of a story being more important than real life. I mean, my whole entire family, all we do is tell stories. Stories are a big part of everything, and my grandpa told stories like this. And I remember having my dad be like, well, we all know that this is just a bunch of horse, it's silly that he's telling these stories. But I think it's more important because it's the memory that lives on. The guy's going to die, and so what's real dies, but the memory lives on. I think that's kind of one of the important elements of the story.
That's true. By telling all these stories his whole life, this guy is living on and is immortalized in his stories. Yeah. This film did remind me a little bit of my dad, who died about 5 years ago, who would have been 92. He was born in 1916. This is a picture of him right here on Fiona's shirt on a motorcycle in World War II. Real motorcycle. He would tell stories about them teaching him to ride that motorcycle, about how if you were an officer in the Army, you had to learn how to drive every vehicle that the Army had, including the motorcycle. And they said, they said, well, if you ever can't stop, just lay it down, and that'll stop it. It was like, lay it down. That's a terrible idea. I'm not going to ride that anymore. But my dad always told stories. He always told all stories about his old college roommates and about stuff that happened in World War II. And when he was very old, I got a whole nother sort of set of stories about World War II that he had not told before that kind of it occurred to him to tell. And it's fascinating. So you always want to reach out to your parents and your grandparents and listen to these stories because they're fascinating. And then put them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now we can do that. Put your grandparents on YouTube right now while they're still alive.
Yeah. Or your parents even.
Or your parents on YouTube.
The other great thing about this movie, the casting.
It's got the whole kind of Tim Burton field of players. You've got Danny DeVito in there.
Helena
Carter. Who doesn't really age properly.
Yeah.
Because she's an ancient witch when he's a little boy, and then she's kind of in love with him when he's Ewan McGregor. By the way, Ewan McGregor plays the younger version of Albert Finney in all the flashbacks.
Yeah.
Marry me, Ewan.
This is like a graduate level course in bad Southern accents. Every character has a fake Southern. Robert Guillaume, who was Benson, the black guy, the doctor, has a Southern accent. Helena Bonham Carter, kind of fake.
Alabama.
It's Alabama, which is a deep accent.
Yeah.
Albert Finney does a pretty good job. And Ewan McGregor, all these English people with the Southern accents. We have crackers in Alabama who could talk like that already. I guess they're not movie stars, though. Like Billy Crudup is this kind of clean-cut guy, but in this movie he has this kind of dark, shaggy hair. You know who he looks like? The handsome version of Tim Burton. So he's the surrogate. So I bet you anything that Tim Burton's own father was kind of like this.
Yeah.
You know? He's not a good cipher for Tim Burton because Tim Burton is this kind of creative weirdo.
And
this guy's a really kind of dull journalist who's got a hot wife, Marianne Cotillard.
Yeah. Curse you, Maul.
Who went on to be
Maul in Inception.
Mrs. Inception.
Yeah.
And she's French, doing a French accent. Thank you very much. No fake Southern accent for her.
Thank goodness.
You know what they like on SourceFed is they like concise, like sentences
Snappy.
about a thing that they can cut to somewhere else. Never gonna
Give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
There was lots of really cool things and cool looking things.
It's a very surreal movie.
Chock full of beautiful dreamlike imagery. And because it's all stories being told by this guy and remembered by this guy and imagined by this other guy, it sort of inoculates it from having to make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Like you go, wait, that guy couldn't push a house over like that. Well, this is a flashback. Like a third-hand mental image of something, you know?
Yeah.
Or like that door that's like a parallelogram because the house is sagging.
Yeah.
And the door is a parallelogram now, which
Doors don't. The
they're
geometry
made
does
of
not
clay.
work.
It doesn't work like that. It's like I turn into a big fish.
Oh.
We also saw Star Trek Into Darkness
That
this weekend.
was awesome.
Now that was a badass movie. That was good.
awesome
I could marry that entire film.
And we also saw the
Oh my god!
yeah the Doctor Who season finale.
Yeah, seriously, what the hell?
Big fish, big schmaltzy romantic movie that cost $15 million. That's all right. Doctor Who, the season finale, I cried like a baby. There was this great moment where
And
it's
it was
I made a video about it on my channel. It's about 5 seconds
By the
long.
way, what's your channel, Emily?
It's Wonder Muffy, because apparently Wonder Muffin was taken, and Wonder is spelled with a U.
So click right here for Wonder Muffy, and Noah's channel is
The Eyebrow Show.
The Eyebrow Show. Click right there for that. Fiona's is
Fiona Gray!
Wow, you got a normal name. Wow.
And this, of course, is Mark W. Gray channel, and you're all familiar with Professor Puppet, who's my pal. We'll put a link for him right here.
Yeah.
And
Sourcefed! They
so
already
like
got
and
enough
subscribe and
subscribers.
share and all of that jazz.
We love you.
And we love you.
Yeah.
And thank you. And what are you doing?
Jazz hands?
It's like
Finish
you're,
with spaz hands.
it's like you're tickling a goat.